Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Jason, or General, and today, guys, I am bringing you probably one of my best gameplays in Call of Duty World War II, and this is the second part to the Becoming the Best Call of Duty Player, where I'm going to be talking about map awareness, and what better map to do it on than Point to Hawk. This map has a lot of close quarters engagements. It really makes you think about which engagements you want to get into and where you want to maneuver around the map, because this map isn't really like most other Call of Duty maps just because of all the trenches and all the places that you can get flanked from. So I think this is a very good map to do this on. If you have not seen the first parts of this series, you guys should go check that out. I'm gonna leave a link to that down in the description below and notation on the screen. Make sure you guys go check that out, where we talk about how to aim better in Call of Duty World War II. And this video, if you guys do enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if new, especially if you learned something new. I think this video we're gonna go really in depth on really how to maneuver around the map and ultimately how to pick your gunfights in this game, because this game is a very tricky game when it comes to picking your gunfights, because there's a lot of very inconsistent things that happen in this game that can really make your gunfights become quite challenging. So we'll be talking about all of that here in this video. Now, the gameplay in the background is probably one of my best gameplays I've gotten in World War II. Right there, get that nice little split quad feed with the combat shotgun. I get 116 kills with the combat shotgun. This is a ridiculous gameplay, and I think it's very, very good to use in this for this commentary topic as well, talk about map awareness and picking your gunfights, because ultimately 116 kills with a combat shotgun, you got to be within a certain distance to take somebody out. And because of this map, and there's so many maneuvering, possibilities where you can get flanked from, things like that, that I think this is a very good gameplay to be using for this commentary topic. Now, I'm playing with one other guy in this game. I'm playing with AK, and I think he dropped about like 50-some kills this game too. So combined, we got like 160 kills this game, and it was a really close game. Like the entire game, I died one off of V2 rocket twice. Not one off, I believe it was a couple off of V2 rocket twice in this gameplay as well, and I died to the most unfortunate thing ever, but it's kind of expected with this map, and I died to the bayonet twice. A couple kills off of V2 rocket 2 times, so this could have been a double V2, maybe like a 130 kill game with the combat shotgun. So would have been this would have been like so much more ridiculous, but unfortunately there was like, and surprisingly, it was a Christmas noob that did it too. He I got a hit marker on him, and he just panicked bayoneted me. So I was gonna say bayonet knife, but bayoneted me. So that was really unfortunate. But I think you guys really will enjoy this gameplay. Like, make sure you guys watch to the end, because there is some ridiculous, streaks and clips and stuff that I get throughout this whole gameplay. So I think you guys will definitely really enjoy. You see that grenade just kind of rolled towards me right there? Feels like Marty Dom from like Modern Warfare 2. But anyway, so maneuvering around the map is very tricky, especially in this game, because the maps in this game are very weird. I'm not a fan of almost all the maps in this game, just to be 100% honest with you guys. But this map in particular is probably my least favorite map in the game. Well, outside my least favorite, like, kind of normal-esque map in this game. Obviously Gustav Cannon, stuff like that, I'm not a huge fan of, and the Gustav Cannon is probably my least favorite map in this game. But this map in particular is just, I don't really like it too much, because there's so many areas that you can get flanked from. In previous Call of Duty games, you would have 3 lanes, and there would be at most, in one scenario, 2 positions that you could get flanked from. So realistically, if you were a good player, you could predict where somebody was going to come based on where your teammates were around the map, and where the hard point was, or depending on what flags you had, and all that type of stuff. So really, there was only a couple areas that you could get flanked from at most in previous Call of Duty games, and like I said, if you're a good player, you could kind of predict those pretty easily. Now, in this game, let's talk about Point to Hawk, for example. At one given time, there's potentially 3 different areas that you can get flanked from. In some cases, there's 5, if you're in the middle of the map, there is 5 different areas, and right there was one of the times I got bayoneted, again, by a Christmas noob. So it was really, really unfortunate. It's like the panic knifing from back in the day, back during like the Modern Warfare 3 days, Modern Warfare 2 days, where panic knifing was just really, really annoying. Well, basically, that's what happened right there, where I died a couple off of V2 rocket. So I was really, really upset right there. But you know what? Shit happens. I still got 116 kills. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. And somehow I managed to survive there. There was guys all around me. But on this map, if you're in the middle of the map, for example, there is 5 different areas that you could get flanked from at one time. So in previous Call of Duties, there was 2. In this game, there potentially is 5 on this map in the middle. That's why I really don't like this map a lot. just because of that. Now, at the same time, using something like a shotgun or something on this map, really can help you out a lot. But at the same time, like, not everybody wants to use a shotgun on this map. But even right here, like, there's 4 areas I could get flanked from. 4, So just being in one of the trenches really does up your chances of getting flanked. And so reality is how I play this map most of the time. Most of the time I'm using an STG, most of the time I'm using like, a submachine gun or something, and so realistically I'm positioning myself to where I only could get flanked at most 3 times. Now I will occasionally go in the middle of the map if I'm playing hardpoint and I'm trying to get that flag, but honestly, because of all the grenade spams and stuff in this game, I tend not to even go near objective play in this game just because of the fact that grenades are so strong in this game that there is a lot of times where you're just unfortunately, the grenade's going to roll toward you, or 2 or 3 grenades are going to be rolling towards you, and you're just going to be taken out like that. However, if you play the map, and this goes for most maps in this game, if you just kind of run around the outskirts of the map, you have a much, much better chance of surviving and really kind of catching the enemy off guard. But the reality is, that technique works really well in most other Call of Duty games. In this game, however, that technique works, not as much. It still works. It works a considerable amount of time, but it doesn't work as much. So you have to really play very, very smart in this game compared to past Call of Duty games. In this game, I tend to be a little bit more passive than I have in previous Call of Duty games just because of the fact that there's so many different areas you can be flanked from on most Call of Duty, on most of the maps here. Right there, get bayoneted again by the same guy, unfortunately, but you know what, it is what it is. But like I said, this game, there's just so many areas that you can get flanked from on one given map, especially this map here. Like I said, at most up to 5 different times you can get flanked from. So realistically, moving around the outskirts of the map is your best bet, especially if you have an assault rifle. Like, if you're going to do this technique, it's best to use a long-range, weapon, a gun that can really take people out at a long range, just because if you're not using a long-range weapon and you're going on the outskirts of the outskirts normally have the longest lines of sight. So if you're not going around the outskirts of the map, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be taken out if you're not using like an assault rifle or an LMG or something like that. If you're using a shotgun, for example, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be taken out. Now, this gameplay is a little bit of an exception because I'm running around the objective more. I'm running around in the trenches, and the only reason I'm doing that is because I have a shotgun. At the same time, whereas you want to run around the outskirts of the map if you want to survive more, but if you are trying to, let's say, get a much more fast-paced gameplay, you really have to play towards your weapon, right? So if you choose, or your class, so if you choose something like a shotgun or an SMG, you of course want to have those more close quarters engagements. But the reality is, on this map in particular, if you're using a shotgun or an SMG, you're putting yourself at risk of being flanked from 5 different areas, like in the middle of the map, for example. So realistically, it's one of those things where, this game is just, like I said earlier about the unpredictability, right? Like right there, I clearly, shotgunned him at a very close distance, literally, like, up in his face, and somehow I got a hit marker. I know I wasn't directly on him, but majority of my shells definitely got on him, and for some reason, I didn't get a one-shot kill right there. So, there is a lot of unpredictable things in this game, and because of that, it is hard to kind of position yourself to win, most of your engagements. But the fortunate thing is, you always want to put yourself in the position to, honestly win most of your engagements. But, if you're running around the outskirts of the map, you're going to have a much, much higher chance. Is it going to be 100%? Are you going to win all of your engagements? No, because there is unpredictable stuff in this game, like fire shotguns, bouncing betties, stuff like that. However, you want to put yourself in a position where, statistically speaking, you're going to win most of your gunfights, because not everybody runs shotguns, not everybody runs bouncing betties, not everybody runs the more newbie, stuff. Now, I will say, just a little side note here about the other team. I'm actually playing as a full party in this gameplay as well, so just a little, something else there that, makes this gameplay a little bit more impressive. And, towards the end, they're kind of just standing still. They're not really doing much, but, you can see that the gameplay, is coming, bayoneted yet again. That's another thing that, really helps out in terms of the assault rifle. So if you have an assault rifle and you're, let's say, playing on this map, for example, you have a much higher chance of winning a lot more close quarters engagements if you use the infantry division, if you have, let's say, the bayonet, for example. So it kind of does help in this map to use something like an STG. You know, the STG is my preferred assault rifle in this game. So if you're using an STG or some other assault rifle and you are playing on this map, I do highly recommend using the infantry division, because if you do find yourself going in those really close quarters engagements, like in the trenches, for example, you're going to be able to, you know, take the enemy out a lot quicker and a lot faster just because you have that bayonet. So, like in this gameplay here, it caused me not to get a double V2 rocket on top of the 116 kills. So right here, just absolutely decimating the enemy team for the end of the game here. You know, I'm trying to tell my team, yo, like, don't cap the flag, don't go in the hard point. I'm trying to get this 100 kills, trying to get as many kills as possible. But unfortunately, some of my Christmas noob teammates didn't quite understand that, and, well, unfortunately. And plus, it didn't also help that 3 guys on the other team stopped playing towards the end of this game, so that was quite unfortunate. But either way, guys, that's really how you want to position yourself around the map. It's one of those things where you're not going to win every gunfight, you're not going to win every engagement just because of all the unpredictable stuff in this game. However, if you position yourselves in the right, you know, areas and stuff, you have a much higher chance, especially if you're pre-aiming around corners, you're pre-firing, all that type of stuff that I talked about in my previous video. So again, make sure you guys go check that out if you haven't already. So anyway, guys, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new. 116 kills and 13 deaths. So really great gameplay. Honestly, probably one of my best. Actually, that might be 18 deaths. I can't tell from the screen right now. But as we go here, we get that nice little quad feed, that collateral too. So anyway, guys, with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this gameplay. If you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll talk to you guys later. Have a nice day, guys. Bye.